Well, hello. It's been a little while. I feel like I'm recording my first YouTube video right now. It's just been so long. I think like 3 months or something since I last posted a long form video on this channel. But I've been getting some questions from people about, am I going to post any more on YouTube? Where have I been? What have I been up to? Even from my own athletes just asking me, hey, are you going to do an update on YouTube, like on your Berlin Marathon training? So since people are asking, that means people are noticing, and I'm sure many of you didn't notice. But I'm just going to share a little bit with you about what's been going on behind the scenes for a while, why I've been MIA for the last few months, and what's next. What's next with my running? What's going on with that? What's next for this channel, et cetera, et cetera. But where I could really use your help before I dive into all of this, and you can even type this in the comments maybe as you're watching, is what do you want me to talk about on this channel? What do you feel like is missing? What do you feel like you need to know more about when it comes to your running, when it comes to your marathon training? Of course, the marathon is what I talk about the most, but I'll also take questions about beginner running and anything like that that you feel you would like touched on a little bit. I would love to do a Q&A video next or in the next couple. I think that would be a really easy way for me to ease back in and just talk about what you want me to talk about when it comes to what you need to know to help you be the best runner that you could be, which is really why I started this channel in the first place as a running coach. And honestly, it's gotten a little bit where you become so tied to the algorithm and trying to do everything perfectly to get your videos noticed, to get your videos on the front page where people see them, that they're exciting, people want to click on your thumbnail, all of that. And it really gets to be a game. It's bogged me down. It's not where my passion is. My passion really is to be a teacher. I mean, that's what I've always done in my career. I was an elementary school teacher, and now I'm a teacher of running. I'm a coach. I love coaching. I love getting into every piece of it with my athletes and their hopes and their dreams and the mental piece, the physical side of it, what's going well, what's not going well. And that's what I want to talk about. And that's what I get to talk about when I'm coaching my athletes one-on-one. Whereas here it feels a little bit like I'm catering to an algorithm. It also can be tough because I know if I put out one video, it will resonate with many people and not resonate with other people. And sometimes that holds me back. That's an issue that I have myself. There's certainly a lot of things happening in my own brain that I can't blame on the algorithm or anything that's holding me back when I really just need to get on here and record and put it out there, which is what I'm doing today. I have no notes and just want to get a video out. So this is my first quiet day in this house since May. My kids have been home from school for summer break. My husband also works from home except for on Wednesdays. I'm recording this on a Wednesday. And yeah, so this is my first day to myself in this house for quite a while, which seemed like the perfect opportunity to just set up my phone and record this for you guys because my kids are back to school today. So first day of school, I have an 8th grader, a 7th grader, and a 4th grader. They're getting big so fast. And I could blame them being around this summer, but I won't. It's just an excuse, honestly. But also more than it being an excuse is I really do feel like these years go by so fast. The summers go by so fast, and making my children a priority is obviously always number one. But in these summers, when they're home, feeling like I can give them as much attention as possible while also running my business and focusing on the priority of my business, which is the one-on-one athletes who I coach, who pay me. That's how I keep my business going. So of course, that's where my time and energy are going to go, to my family and to that part of my business. We also had some vacations this summer, which obviously was a focus, and I know that you guys can understand that. So really just a hiatus there, and Now they're back in school, so I don't have that excuse anymore when I have some of this open time during the day to be recording these videos and hopefully getting back on track with the coaching piece and focusing more on what you guys need and focusing less on what YouTube's going to spit out. However, I'm very grateful to YouTube for pushing out, what needed to get pushed out so people would see my channel. I mean, that's what's allowed me to have the business that I do. I wouldn't be coaching full time if it wasn't for YouTube. It's a huge piece of what I do. And so another big reason why I probably need to get back to it, even though I've had a full roster of athletes basically since August of 2022. So for the last 3 years, I've had a full roster of athletes, which I'm so grateful for. And I'm very aware of the fact that there are people, you guys, who are out there watching free content, who are the ones who eventually become the people who are my clients if you feel that we are a good fit. And I'm the same way as someone who views free content. I love it, and I want to be able to put more of that out here as well, and make it helpful for people. That's really, really important to me. So with that, I have been training for Berlin, and I've had some people asking me like how it's going, what's your goal? And the training's going really, really well. I'm very happy to report that my body feels strong and healthy and good, because this time last year when I was training for the New York City Marathon, I had this hamstring issue that kind of just radiated through the whole right side of my leg and just made it uncomfortable to run at times. Not hurting, but just not comfortable and not something to really enjoy, unfortunately, whereas we want those runs to be, for the most part, enjoyable, right? And so even though I was getting in the miles, it just felt like I was doing the work, but not maybe reaping the benefits that I could and should have been, and obviously not running for the purpose of joy in that moment either. So I'm just happy to be feeling good this year. With that said, I'm just going to be completely transparent and tell you that at age 45, I'm not the runner that I even was a couple years ago when I was getting, my Boston qualifying time. And even that tough time that I had in Chicago, I trained incredibly hard for that race. Running like nearly 70 miles in that training block, I think. And I'm just not in a place where I want to do that anymore. And I'm very aware that my goals have to align with the work that I'm willing to put in. I talk a lot about that on this channel. They don't just come, you have to be willing to put in the work. And just aligning my goal with the work that I am willing to put in. And I am working really hard. I just got done running 3 50+ mile weeks in a row. Now I'm on a down week because I typically will go 3 up weeks, then a down week. And how this just kind of ended up is that I still have 3 more up long runs before I hit the taper for the Berlin Marathon, but it will be only 2 more weeks before I hit taper. So basically the next 3 Mondays, I will run like a 19 or 20 miler, this coming one, and then the next 2 will definitely be 20 to 21. And then I'll taper, and the marathon is on September 21st, 2025. And I'm getting really excited about it. I'm heading there with my husband, just the 2 of us. So that will be nice. And as far as like what my goal is or time goal, what I've been telling people who've asked, athletes have asked me, my goal would be, I just want to have a really strong race. I know that I'm doing really great training to put me in a position to have a good, strong race when I get on that start line. And that's really what matters to me when it comes to this training. But also I would love to be able to BQ there again. Honestly, even if it was by 1 second, I don't even really care if it's enough of a buffer to like get into Boston. I've BQ'd many times. I've run Boston twice, and I don't foresee myself anytime soon actually running the race again. So that part doesn't really matter to me. Just to BQ and continue to be able to do that as I age and as those numbers change is something really cool, I think. But also my heart isn't set on that either. I would much rather have a really strong race where I run smart, I negative split, I can feel really good in that last 10K and pick up the pace and, be 5 to 10 minutes off the mark of a BQ. I mean, the BQ time just is getting faster and faster. They took 5 more minutes off this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm even just like missed it by a couple minutes, but I'm also going to put myself in a position, hopefully, to go for it. Even though it is quite a bit slower than the 3:29 that I ran even 2.5 years ago. I know that sounds crazy, but like bodies change. And as much as we want to say age is just a number, it unfortunately isn't just a number in our mindset. And taking care of ourselves, obviously, yes. Trying to defy those odds as much as possible, I think, is really important. And that's why it's so important for me to keep on this running journey that I love so much. And strength training, obviously, so important. Eating well and keeping minds sharp, right? Like all of that is so important. But as the gray hairs under my dyed hair tell me, you can't just completely stop it from happening. And I have noticed some of that happening really a lot in just the last year and a half. And I know for some of you, other women my age, that will resonate very heavily with you. I've even talked to some men. I feel like I had this conversation where sometimes there's these little spurts of aging that seem like they happen really quickly. And for men, I think it happens a little bit later, but I do think it's a very real thing. And just trying to work through that as much as possible. And like I said, I feel really good and strong overall. Even if I can just tell that my legs aren't quite as fast as they were before, that's okay. To be my age and running 50 plus miles a week and recover well, to be able to do that, to be a good mom to my kids, obviously that's number one, to be a good wife, and just keep all the balls in the air as much as I can. I'm content. I'm very grateful to be in that place. And I think it took me a little while to get there. Last year was tougher, but I really can say in all honesty, it's a good place to be. And I'm just excited to have this opportunity to have qualified for Berlin and get to run there and see what I can do there, have my first international race and all of that. So if you guys have any questions specifically about the training, really, I'm just so consistent. I show up 6 days a week. I've been building to those 50-mile weeks. That's kind of in a nutshell what I do. I go to Orange Theory once a week. I strength train twice a week. And it's all about making the commitment to yourself, showing up when you say you're going to, having discipline. I don't question whether these runs are going to get done. I know what I'm going to be doing on those days, and it gets done. And I will not go to bed until it gets done. And I think that's a huge piece of having a really successful marathon experience. So if you guys have more questions about the marathon training itself, I would be happy to answer. And also, like I said, if you can help me out, and just below in the comments, just tell me, what can I help you with? What topic would you like to see talked about? Or if I do a Q&A, something, on smaller scale, what can I answer for you? I think that will help me just kind of get going on this, get the ball back rolling on the YouTube channel, and consistently show up here, just like I consistently show up in my running. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.